welcome to Share Sip. Today we have Nick from Bay Area Redwood. Hello.
How's it going, Dette? Thank you for having us here.
Of course, thanks for joining. Today we're going to be sipping on some Smith Devereux red blend, and here's a close-up of the wine label. All right, so we're going to go through a couple questions, get to know Nick and Bay Area Redwood. So, and then we'll give a little quick review at the end. Pretty simple. So first, cheers.
Cheers. Long day. I don't know if anyone's been here for the apocalypse. This is like the day where the sky's red. That's why we're having some red wine, right? Red shirt, Bay Area Redwood. We love
all
red.
The red.
Right, yeah.
So tell us more about Bay Area Redwood.
Yeah, so founded this about 2 years ago now, and what we do is we repurpose urban trees into timber products. And so what that means is that typically when a tree comes down in an urban environment, so that means like a city or a school or something like that, someone's front yard, it typically goes into a chipper and is wasted. Instead, what we do is we work with the arborists and acquire the tree in log form. We move it to our log recycling facility, and then from there, we ultimately turn it into timber products. We cure it similar to how with wine and the terroir and how you have different grapes in different regions. Wood is similar in that way and has a lot of specificity to it. And so once the wood is cured and ready to use, we ultimately make finished furniture products. And in particular, we have these cool charcuterie boards right behind us.
All right, so what's it like being your own CEO?
So there's a joke that CEO stands for Chief Everything Officer.
Yeah.
And so you have to do everything. Today we ran around the Bay from the Tri-Valley to San Francisco, back to the Tri-Valley and all around. A lot of what I have to do is just make sure that things are on track. Mm-hmm. And, any job has to be done. I'll go and, clean the toilets if I have to. Yeah. Literally, it's everything.
That's cool. All right, so give us, you've grown so much. He is always busy. It's nuts. And it's crazy here. It's amazing. And they do amazing work. So, that's in what? It's 2 years?
Yeah, we've expanded 5 times since then.
Okay, so what's, your goal for in 5 years? What you've done in 2 is incredible. What do you look for?
I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
This is why I love him.
Yeah, no, actually, we're going to be in Woodside, and we're going to take back behind us. Actually, I would never know. It looks like we're in some fancy mansion. Not really, we're in a barn. But I'm going to take a dump truck, and we're going to go over and load some logs for a client. And then in a year, we're going to mill them, and in a year, she's ultimately going to use this wood for a cabin they're building in Tahoe. And so it's really amazing that I'm literally working on a project for clients that's not going to mature for a year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Much like there's a stockbroker, I'm a timber broker for people. What? And so is some of the wood on our lot behind us here. So my long-term vision ultimately is to see any tree that comes down, whether in an urban forest like our cities, mm-hmm. or in a traditional forest, that when it dies, whether from drought, from beetles, from wildfire, whether it actually needs to be thinned because it's too dense, I want to see those trees repurposed, because currently they enter the waste stream because they don't really have a use. And so my goal is to implement more sustainable forestry practices, both in urban forests and traditional forests.
That's awesome.
And actually, just so you know, I'm actually running the Fairview Fire Protection District, so I gotta plug that, right? And we really want to steer smart forestry policy and protect our communities. From wildfires, mm-hmm. Case in point,
especially in California, big problem here. All right, so give a little insight on the difference between actually home goods and versus you. Why would you encourage people? What makes you different? What has you? I know you just described sort of what it is, but yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard Jeff Bezos from Amazon say that they don't have any competitors. Now I'm joking, but it's really interesting. We had some clients that came by last week that I bought some from Ashley, and our costs are pretty comparable because how we're sourcing, we have everything vertically integrated, and we're able to pass that lower cost on to customers. Okay. So you go into a high-end design firm in San Francisco and you see a live edge table and it's $10,000. Whereas our dining tables, many of them can be like 1,500, 2,000. So we're lowering that price point. Furniture in general is actually a very high margin industry, no matter where you're at, even just with Ashley. What you're getting into Ashley is it's a big box store. It's like going to Home Depot or going to Walmart. And so you're getting the same thing that everyone has. Whereas when you come here, you're getting something that's from locally sourced wood. Typically, even the 2x4s from the Doug fir that you're buying come from like Canada in many cases. So you're getting wood from Canada that's showing up in our Home Depot. So similarly, the wood, I don't know what Ashley furniture wood is made out of, but there's not. I know it's not local, right? And so what you're doing is you're supporting a small business.
Yes. And
It's
I'm all
about
for
circular.
that.
Exactly. And so, for example, when I said we're gonna have a truck go over to Woodside tomorrow, we're taking literally we're keeping the money inside of this yard and supporting another business.
Yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
actually, by keeping when you move a truck from place to place, you're paying hourly, and there's a term called portal to portal. So the portal is here at this yard. So since we're starting at where we're ending, we're saving money. We're passing that cost on to the customer. So our customers, who we're always looking out for and listening to, and really it's what guides us of an overarching vision is taking materials that would otherwise into the waste stream. We're by definition, an environmental business. This
That's
is,
amazing.
example of environmental entrepreneurship. Typically, things that are good for the environment don't necessarily make money. So we're really excited, to be able to actually
make a living off of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you want to show us like a couple different like slabs?
Yeah. So as we were talking about, charcuterie boards are super popular right now. So here's one right here, and just simple. You can display cheese, meat, anything like that on it. There you go. This is another example right here. This one actually, it has a different finish on it that we use for showcasing, and this is a catalyzed conversion varnish.
Oh, this is nice. Smooth.
Then, of course, we're showcasing another one. This is an epoxy right here, which is very shiny. Not on that side, but on this side. And you can see the light reflecting in it.
This is nice.
We have larger boards for something like, say, a grazing board right here. Also, maybe a guitar.
I was gonna say air guitar.
Right? That one finally, I think, has a little brand on the bottom.
Ew. That one turned out.
Yeah, that one turned out good. Y'all don't want to hear about how it, first I almost lit myself on fire, and then after not lighting myself on fire, we then, we branded a board for, I think, a wedding, right? And you see, what happened, this is a good story, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wood is very different, right? So I was testing on a piece of redwood, and redwood's very soft, and so it was good and ready to go, like it branded. But then I put it on a piece of cedar, and the cedar was much harder, and I didn't really take that into account, and I saw some smoke coming up, because there's obviously always a little bit of moisture in the wood, and so the moisture was coming out, I'm like, shit, well, I'm burning it. By the way, sorry about that.
It's alright. Classy AF.
Right. And then I messed it up. And she's like, oh, you should retry it. Let's do it. And so I went and retried it, but I didn't put it on the same thing. And then it was off shifted. And she's like, oh, my friend won't even notice. And
I was like, just flip it over on the other side. No, I made a little cute little, reference to it. And all I wanted, I just want them to know, where to go when they need, but yeah.
If they can read it. They're offset, instead of this, they're this.
Yeah.
I'm dragging through my hands.
But it was fun. It's a great story too, and I can't wait to tell her in person what happened. I only wrote that in the letter. Yeah. So, anyways, let's talk a little bit about the wine. So, Smith Devereux.
Devereux, yeah.
Devereux. Ooh, I'm getting there. I just suck at pronouncing anything, especially French words. So, he's actually my good time friend. Go Ian. He's also a small winery, small business. So this wine was actually, he donated to the California wildfires, everyone that purchased this bottle. So pretty cool. Always giving back. I love to support small, and I love seeing small businesses support, pay it forward. Anyways, so this bottle of wine actually is only 20 bucks. So pretty decent, affordable, everyday red wine. Let's get some of your thoughts. Like, just basically, let's say 1 to 10. Like, what would you rate it?
It's good. I'm like the worst person to ask about wine, right? And we partied with a lot of wineries here.
Okay,
at
but like,
Livermore,
do you drink a lot of wine?
when it's free. Like right now, right?
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like it. It's a bit sweeter. I like
Okay.
sweeter wines, but it tastes like a red wine I drink. It's like, would I want to drink it again? Yes or no? It fits into those two buckets.
Yeah.
I have a funny story for Phil about Phil Long and longevity, but I'll have to tell you off camera.
Okay.
Sorry. If y'all ask me though, I might tell you.
So would you drink it again?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So
yeah. So that's basically like, if you saw it at the store, like, or would you gift it to a friend, like,
Yeah, no, that's what we do. Is we we were gonna start this like project earlier in the year, actually in March, and then COVID hit. And it was like, people buy like a $1,500 slab or something like that to add a bottle of wine with it.
Oh,
And that's
cool.
something that's I just haven't got around to doing.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I have some good people to partner with. Yeah. So, again, like.
I totally would give
Yeah.
this gift.
Yeah, 20 bucks. Like, you can't beat it. Like, it's decent wine. It's ready to drink now. You don't have to wait. Like, I'm impatient, so I don't like to age my wine. So it's perfect. You're supporting small. Like, it's actually they're a cool winery. So they're based off of like wine and music. Like, that's how they came about, and it's pretty cool. So all their wines tell a story. Ian's a great guy, just like Nick. Yeah, so affordable wines that are drinkable any day. Yeah, so there you have it, Nick's review and Bay Area Redwood. So I hope you go look into them and show some support. All right, cheers.
Cheers. And thank you for having us.
Stay classy.